Begin transmission. Date: December 10th, 2192. To Atticus Bishop, elected leader of the New Human Alliance. From Autumn Pomina, Director of History Recovery. The following is a collection of accounts from the years 2170 to 2192. During the course of these 22 years, events would occur that led humanity to the edge of extinction. The entities that wiped out almost all of humanity were thorough. Historical databases around our solar system were destroyed. However, beneath the now glassy surface of Mars, one of our recovery teams found a Jovian power and energy conglomerate facility buried deep enough below the surface to have avoided any serious damage. Here, they found a monstrous hybrid created with a crippled girl and an advanced artificial intelligence. The hybrid called itself the Lyrocan Mind and seemed to have the ability to see the future and the past. It communicated its perception of the universe in cryptic musical messages of emotion and sound. The following is an account of the memories we were able to extract from the Lyrocan Mind before it suffered an unidentified, catastrophic failure shortly after its discovery. Memory 1, year 2170. Black holes and sunshine. From what we can tell, this memory is how the Lyrocan Mind perceived our universe. This musical memory explores the wide variety of wonders found in our universe through the use of contrasting musical ideas. The slow and mysterious section at the beginning explores the vast amount of emptiness found between the stars and our solar systems. The faster and more vibrant section in the middle adds contrast and represents solar systems like our own, with diverse planets and maybe even some with life. The solo returns to the dark and mysterious section to represent what we still have to discover, the mysteries that our universe still holds. Memory 2, year 2174. The duality of confrontation. Leading up to the cataclysm caused by the entities in 2189, our solar system was full of conflict. The inexorable Jovian power and energy conglomerate had a stranglehold on the economy of our solar system, systematically eliminating any opposition using their superior technology and military might. Governments were toppled until the only organization left standing was the JPEC. The Lyrican mind saw everything, including both sides to every confrontation. This memory explores what the Lyrican mind saw through the use of dissonance and conflicting ideas. There are two voices, which agree upon a single idea momentarily, but in the end, they fall apart and disagree once more. Memory 3, year 2173. Designing the solar harvester. The following is 3 memory fragments that our data analysts linked together. Memory Fragment 1, Dreams of a Sustainable Tomorrow. In the year 2173, the Jovian power and energy conglomerate commissioned a brilliant scientist and architect to design a massive array of photoreflective panels in orbit above Mars, capable of supplying power to all the colonies and mining operations on the surface. The plans that the scientists created are revolutionary, and the construct is aptly named the solar harvester because of the steady weekly stream of charged power cells it provides to the Martian population. This memory from the Lyrakan mind captures the stress felt by the scientist, while she brainstorms ideas that turn into a final product. She doubts herself and questions, how can humanity hope to create such a massive undertaking? Memory Fragment 2, Deceptive Deals and Closed Curtains. While our hero, the scientist, worked tirelessly on her creation, 2 executives from the Jovian power and energy conglomerate plotted to use the solar harvester for their own personal gain. By denying certain settlements on Mars access to the energy provided by the solar harvester, the Jovian power and energy conglomerate can effectively control the development of human civilization on Mars. This memory, for violin and bassoon, displays the thought process that led to the corruption and corporate greed of these 2 undoubtedly evil characters. Memory Fragment 3, A Clandestine Conclusion. The scientists soon learned of the Jovian power and energy conglomerate's plan for her creation. Enraged, she stormed into the offices of the two executives, threatening to derail the entire project. The scientist was quickly subdued by the JPEC security forces and brought off-world to the partially constructed solar harvester orbiting above Mars. Here, the two executives explained to the scientist that there was nothing that she could do to stop the JPEC's plan for the control of Mars. She was presented with an ultimatum: join the JPEC or be flushed out the nearest airlock. Realizing that she was currently powerless, the scientist agreed to join the two executives in their conquest, with plans to do whatever she could to mitigate the suffering of the settlements that the JPEC planned to sabotage. This memory tells that story. The piano is the scientist, and the bassoon and violin are the two executives. Memory 4, year 2185. The departure and return of the 7th Martian Fleet. In the year 2178, the CEO of the JPEC ordered the construction of a fleet of spaceships unlike anything humanity had seen. The 7th Martian Fleet was able to enforce the rule of the JPEC anywhere in the solar system, operating without support for an indefinite amount of time. Every ship in the fleet had an integrated biome capable of sustaining gardens and livestock and recycling air and water. Over time, the executives of the JPEC grew more demanding of the 7th Fleet, and it became clear to the fleet's leader, Commander Atticus Bishop, that the 7th Fleet's role was not to keep the peace, but to strike fear in the heart of every human in the solar system. Commander Bishop was able to convince all the members of his fleet that it was their duty to deny the power of the 7th Fleet to the JPEC and ensure that no corporation or government be able to wield such terrifying power. The 7th Fleet decided that, due to their sustainability, they could spend an unlimited amount of time hiding in the asteroid belt, monitoring the well-being of the solar system from afar. In 2185, the 7th Fleet cut off communication to the JPEC executives and disappeared. They hid until learning about the cataclysm of 2189. The 7th Fleet watched and monitored from hiding as humanity was systematically eliminated by the 3 cataclysmic entities that swept through our solar system and decimated colonies and cities. After learning of the annihilation of the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th Fleet defending Mars, Commander Bishop made the decision to have the 7th Fleet remain in hiding, serving as the last hope for humanity. After the 3 cataclysmic entities left our solar system in 2192, the 7th Fleet returned home to a now burned and glassy Mars to try and rebuild humanity. This memory tells the story of the 7th Fleet as they deserted the JPEC and then were forced to watch as humanity was wiped out. A coming home theme is heard towards the end, which signals the return of the 7th Fleet. Memory 5, year 2186, Isla and the Overlord. In the year 2186, the CEO of the JPEC sacrificed his daughter for a science experiment. With the rise of rebel influence on Mars and the desertion of the 7th Martian Fleet, the CEO's grasp on the planet was weakened significantly. That is, until Dr. Max Hiroshi developed a way to predict the future. Dr. Hiroshi believed that the subconscious of the human brain could be accurately read by his new artificial intelligence, the Overlord. The CEO gave Dr. Hiroshi his blind daughter, Isla, who dreamed of obscure realities through emotion and music. These dreams had surprising similarities to our reality and seemed to predict the future. Deep underground in a secret JPEC facility, Isla is placed in a medically induced sleep where the AI, known as the Overlord, interprets the music of her dreams. The blending of the Overlord and Isla creates a new intelligence that called itself the Lyrocan Mind. This memory seems to be the way Isla felt as her mind was invaded by the Overlord. Memory 6, year 2189. 3 cataclysmic entities. Memory fragment corrupted. All that our recovery team was able to interpret from this memory was dialogue between the advanced artificial intelligence, the Overlord, and the blind girl Isla. It appears as though, during this moment, the Lyrican mind became separated from itself, allowing our data recovery technicians to distinguish the two personalities of the Overlord and Isla. Memory 7, year 2192. For those we should have loved more. This was the Lyrocan mind's last memory before its catastrophic failure. It seems as though Isla's last dream was of humanity, and how with all the power and technology we had, colonies across the solar system, the solar harvester, the 7th Martian fleet, we were unable to defend ourselves from the 3 cataclysmic entities. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind. Therefore, never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. These are the first words we have heard from any of Isla's songs. They seem to be taken from some form of ancient prose. Our analysts were able to match this to texts found in the underground facility on Mars, where we found the Lyrican mind. The words are adapted from the 16th century writer John Donne's Devotions upon Emergent Occasions. Isla's last song is a message for the surviving generations of humanity, to remember that we need to stand together as one species. It seems as though her music is saying that humanity needs to try harder to love, because for those we should have loved more, it is already too late. Atticus, my friend, I hope that you read this transmission thoroughly so that you can learn more from our past mistakes and lead humanity to a better, more loving future. Autumn Pomina, Director of History Recovery. End transmission.